Sonic Adventure 2 Battle is one of my all-time favorite games. I still remember going to the video store with my dad and getting to pick up a game to rent for the week. And I picked Sonic. I read the manual back to front while we drove home. As soon as I got home, I ran downstairs, popped the disc into my GameCube, and my 8-year-old mind was blown. The next week was filled with me playing the game nonstop. I even snuck downstairs in the middle of the night just to play more. I was completely obsessed. I ate, drank, and breathed that game until it was finally over. Sonic saved the day, and Shadow died a hero. Then, back to the video store it went. But it was a hell of a week. I would pick up a new game next week and start the process all over again. But what I didn't know at that time was I wasn't done. A fire had been lit that would take me 20 years to put out. I got my own copy a few years later, but it wasn't just me who caught the fever. My friend Violet from across the street also had the game, and we were dead set on getting everything. That meant beating all 5 missions in all 31 levels. That summer, we went back and forth to each other's houses, taking turns, beating levels, raising our chows. It was a blast. Now, we didn't get anywhere close. This game may be E for everyone, but it is not for kids to 100%. But the summer days of us going for it, swapping the controller back and forth between levels, is one of my all-time favorite gaming memories. I left Sonic for a couple of years. After all, I had just gotten a 360. I had Halo 3, Left 4 Dead 2, and Batman Arkham Asylum. But then, in 2012, they released an HD version. By that point, I had already started my achievement journey. With 500% under my belt, I was ready to take this on. Also, let me know in the comments if you want to see me go through my list in another video. This run, I managed to get most of the achievements. I rebeat the story for 4 achievements. I got another 3 for raising my chows. Took out the boss rush and played some multiplayer races for another 2. I managed to get 5 A ranks on a knuckle stage for another one. But when I got 90 emblems for another achievement, I hit a wall. And that wall was Radical Highway. I couldn't get through the time trial mission to save my life. Never mind getting an actual A rank, which I would need 155 of. The thing was, I knew it would only get harder. So, I walked away. Another 11 years passed. Throughout that time, I would come back, make a half-hearted attempt, and then quit when it got hard. But then, I took the easy way out when I completed Celeste by using assist mode to complete the game, which I have a video on if you want to check out. Doing that made me feel like a fraud. So, I looked through my back catalog until I found Sonic Adventure 2 Battle again, and thought to myself, this time, it's gonna be different. I knew exactly what I needed to do. I knew that it would be hard. I also knew that I needed to do this. Not just to prove to everybody I could 100% a game without help, but to prove it to myself. I even started a new game so I couldn't start out halfway done. If I'm gonna do this, there are gonna be no shortcuts. So once again, I saved the world, raised my chows, completed the boss rush mode, and then buckled up for the real challenge, 155 A ranks. The nice thing about playing a game for 20 years is you already know what's going to give you trouble. So I decided to start off with the hunting stages, the easiest of the 3 types of stages. Now, most of the treasures spawn in one of the 3 main areas of the map, so you just have to run between them and hope you get lucky. The key is you need to find everything quick. The only missions that gave me a bit of trouble were the 100 rings, as some of the stages like Pumpkin Hill, Security Hall, and Meteor Herd are very spread out. But hey, That's what guides are for. After that was done, I had 45 out of the 155 A ranks. Almost a third done, but make no mistake about it, the easy part was over. Next up were the mech stages. These were a bit more challenging, as you had to make it through the whole stage without dying, while building up your score by getting as many enemies as possible in a combo. Despite my 20 years of experience, this is where I was starting to go in blind, as there were many stages like Eternal Engine that I've never done all the levels for, never mind with an A rank. But the more I played, the better I got, and the levels I wouldn't even touch 11 years ago weren't as bad as I thought they'd be. Easily the hardest stage, though, was Cosmic Wall Hard Mode, as not only did you have to survive, which was challenging in its own right, but you had to get a score of 100,000 points. Here's the trick. When you get to the on-rail segments, instead of holding your laser for a combo, just start button mashing. After that was done, I had another 45 A ranks to my name, and it was time to get behind the wheel. There are 3 driving courses for 3 emblems, so that's where I started. The beginner and standard stages took me a couple tries each, but weren't too bad. The expert course, though, took me about a half hour to beat. This was time well spent, though, as I not only unlocked another achievement, but I mastered drifting, which I would need for the driving stages. These stages demanded perfection, as you couldn't spin out for the A rank, so you needed to have the route down pat. The biggest challenge was easily the 3rd and 4th missions, where you couldn't hit cars or the walls, which means you have to have all your drifts perfect while also watching your speed. But eventually I got through them, which left me with 100 A ranks. All that was left now was the action stages, which were easily the hardest and I was easily the worst at. But I've come too far to give up now, and this would not mean anything if it was easy. So I loaded up the Radical Highway time trial and failed over and over again. There was something I was missing, so I looked up a guide. This showed me that this was not only possible, but I was missing shortcuts that would help reduce my time. It still wasn't easy, but I eventually did it. And getting through this stage gave me the confidence to take on the other stages I've struggled with. If I could do this, why couldn't I take the others on? I blasted through stages using guides when I had to, until I came to what is, in my opinion, the hardest A rank in the game, the first mission of Metal Harbor. In order to get an A rank, what most people do is they get to the very top rung on the rocket section. The problem is, for the life of me, I couldn't do it. Meaning, I had to come up with my own route. I grinded on every rail. I took a jet out of the sky, got some beetles to the side, and killed 1 extra beetle on the way to the second rung. And with that, I got the A rank. And that was the moment I knew the rest was only a matter of time. So, while the arc stages like Final Rush, Crazy Gadget, and Final Chase were hard, and I failed over and over and over again, it was just a matter of me learning what to do so I could then do it. It may have taken time, but by this point, nothing was stopping me. All that was left was the Cannon's Core, which sees the heroes and villains teaming up. And while the 100 rings were annoying and hard mode took me 2 tries, it was nothing I couldn't overcome. And that was it. I had unlocked the You Are a Legend achievement for getting all the A ranks. This was one of the most satisfying achievements I've gotten in years. I've given up so many times, and after years and hundreds of hours in this game, I finally did it. While I still had the ciao emblems for my last couple of achievements, the end was in sight. From the beginning of the game, I knew I'd be finishing off with the ciaos. So I prepared and raised my first 2 ciaos into hero and dark ciaos. So I can unlock the other gardens and get 2 more eggs. Then I checked their stats and found one with an S rank in strength, and I named him Herc. I raised Herc into a neutral ciao, so he could do every race. From there, Herc got everything. All the food, drives, and animals to build him into a champion. I saw online that you needed at least 900 in every stat in order to sweep ciao karate and the ciao races. So that's what I did. Only for Herc to lose in the semifinals. So that was a lie. But I refused to lose again. So I spent the next couple of hours grinding until all of his stats were level 99. I got flying animals from Pyramid Cave, running animals from Wild Canyon, strength animals from Death Chamber, and swimming animals from Dry Lagoon, on top of all the fruits for stamina in the Ciao Garden itself. So with my newly maxed out Ciao, I went back and became the Grand Master of Ciao Karate for another achievement. Then I started the Ciao races, where Herc blew away the competition. This wasn't hard at this point, but it was long, as there are so many races. Herc was winning without me doing anything. So I just started doing chores while the races were going on. Eventually, I got through the last one for my final emblem and my final achievement, Emblem Mania. And I had finally 100%ed Sonic Adventure 2 battle 20 years later for my 44th 100%. Once you unlock all the emblems, you unlock Green Hill Zone. As I was running through this level, I thought back to the video store, the summer where me and Violet spent so many hours playing this game, to all the times I had tried and failed. And I felt immensely grateful to Sega for making this game that has given me so much joy and so many memories over the last 20 years. Now, I'd like to take the opportunity to address some comments I got on the Celeste video. First off, I owe an apology to Maddie. I didn't mean to call you the wrong name. I was just going off of the title screen, but hey, that's my bad and I am sorry. The other comment I got was a lot of people asking why I didn't do the farewell chapter or get the golden berries. And my answer is there are no achievements for them. Now, with games, everybody has a different line as to what constitutes 100%. For this game, there will be comments saying that I didn't 100% this game because I didn't get a perfect ciao. So I do want to make clear that my line and the line on this channel for what constitutes 100% is to unlock all the achievements, including DLC. It's okay if your line is different, but that's where my line is. And that is the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, give it a like. Tell me what game you're trying to 100% in the comments. And if you want to see the next game I 100%, subscribe for more. Until then, I'm Sergeant Dutch, and I 100% games.